Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at some very spicy battles in the Summer Cup featuring BRELOOM. BRELOOM is a grass and fighting type Pokemon with the moveset of Counter, Seed Bomb, and Dynamic Punch. BRELOOM does have some interesting matchups in the Summer Cup, able to pick up wins over meta Pokemon like Vigoroth, Obstagoon, Pachirisu, and Crustle. It is very weak to flyers, so I am running two rock types in the back. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out BRELOOM in action in the Summer Cup. Hopping into the first match, picking up a Nightmare lead BRELOOM into Tropius, immediate save switch into Crustle, and my opponent responds with their own. I am ahead on energy, which means that I should be able to force a shield advantage or switch advantage. I fire off the X-Scissor, they commit the shield, and they're able to farm down. So unfortunately, I'm not able to get switch advantage, but I have managed to get a shield advantage, and hopefully my Magcargo with a shield advantage will be able to close. They do reach the back-to-back X-Scissors. First one lands, and the second one is coming through. It's going to be very close. Can BRELOOM survive? Yes, it can, and I'm able to counter down. I will immediately switch into Magcargo, and in the back, they have Rollout Alolan Golem, and this is honestly pretty scary, because thanks to Rollout, Alolan Golem gets to these stone edges very, very quickly. As you can see, my rock throws are adding up, but I'm just not doing enough damage. They are going to be able to reach the third stone edge. So I am going to farm up, and then I'm going to fire off a Rock Tomb, because at this point, my only hope is to try and debuff the stone edge so that it doesn't KO. Rock Tomb gets the shield. They switch out to reset the debuff, and back in comes Tropius. Tropius is going for the Leaf Blade, but Magcargo does tank this. So I am going to be tanking that and firing off the Overheat. Overheat will KO. The Golem is one rollout off a move. In they come, switch, and the catch onto BRELOOM. Let's go. We tank the Stone Edge, able to farm down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a pretty nice lead BRELOOM into Pachirisu. Opponent save switches into Trevenant, and I respond with Crustle. This is a fairly neutral matchup, which means I'm probably going to have to go down shields to maintain switch because they have an energy lead. I shield up, and it proves to be a good decision as they went straight for the Shadow Ball. I fire off the X-Scissor, I'm able to grab a shield, and from here, I'm just going to commit to the farm down. Trevenant does have enough for another Shadow Ball. I shield, and it is a second Shadow Ball. That is huge. That does allow me to farm down and leave with a ton of energy. In the back, they have Obstagoon, and their remaining Pokemon get core broken by BRELOOM. I'm able to grab the final shield with the X-Scissor. I'll land the second, and then aggressively switch into BRELOOM. In comes BRELOOM, counters, shredding Obstagoon. They bring back in Pachirisu, but this is not much better, as they can only hit for resisted here. Dynamic Punch does a ton of damage onto Pachirisu. Pachirisu is going to be firing off a move, but everything here is resisted. Thunderbolt, not enough to KO. BRELOOM, able to reach the Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb takes down the Pachirisu, farms down the Obstagoon, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading BRELOOM into Shadow Walrein. Fairly neutral lead, so I'm going to be staying in here. We're both hitting each other for super effective damage, but look at the amount of damage that Counter is doing to Walrein. Walrein getting absolutely shredded as BRELOOM is able to farm down. I leave with a ton of energy. Opponent brings in Shadow AWAC. I pivot into Crustle, and in the back, they have Azumarill. So they were ABA weak to BRELOOM, and by safe switching the Crustle, I'm able to bait it out, which means that my Magcargo should be able to close out this game for me. Azu not wanting to get hit with another Rock Slide, they're going to fire off a move. Ice Beam barely does not KO. Crustle surviving on 1 HP, able to reach a last second X-Scissor. X-Scissor is only resisted, but should help put it very close to Seed Bomb range. Back in comes BRELOOM with the loaded energy. Seed Bomb gets the shield. Azu looking for the farm down, but they're not going to be able to get it. BRELOOM fires off a second Seed Bomb, nearly one-shots. Back in comes the Shadow Alolan Marowak, which is met with the Rock Throw Magcargo. I'm going to let the first move through in case they get the Shadow Bone debuff. They do not. But at this point, Magcargo should be able to farm down the rest of the team. I commit the shield, farm down the Marowak, and the Azumarill, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a terrible lead, BRELOOM into Trevenant. I will immediately save switch into Crustle, and my opponent is going to respond with Azumarill. So hard loss lead and hard loss swap, things not looking good for us whatsoever. I fire off the Rock Slide, that does get the Azu below half health, and Azu is going to fire off a move. At this point, I am going to let this go. Ice Beam, not enough to KO, but unfortunately, I do fall short of a Rock Slide, and I'm forced to fire off an X-Scissor. X-Scissor does get the Azu low, but it's not counter down range, and they're able to reach a Play Rough. Play Rough will unfortunately be one-shotting my BRELOOM. I bring in Magcargo. They bring back in the Trevenant. At this point, I realize it's over, and I concede the match. Hopping into the next match, picking up a pretty nice lead, BRELOOM into Vigoroth. Vigoroth farms up, safe switches into Noctowl, and I have a fantastic response available in Magcargo. Magcargo can tank any one move here. They do go for the Shadow Ball, and then I'm just going to keep farming. I am going to look to go for the farm down here. I believe this is only a Sky attack, but on the off chance they somehow snuck one in, I shielded up. I should have trusted my instincts there, as unfortunately I do end up going down a shield. I'm expecting they're going to bring back in the Vigoroth, and I'm going to go for the Rock Tomb. I want to try and lower their attack to see if I can also make it to an overheat. Rock Tomb, able to connect, gets them low. I'm actually going to aggressively switch into the BRELOOM, take them out. In the back is Pidgeot. Look how much damage one gust did. I reach the Dynamic Punch. I get the shield. In comes Crustle. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Hopping into the next match, picking up a pretty nice lead, BRELOOM into Crustle, and my opponent is actually just not attacking here. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure whether they lagged or they were just core broken by BRELOOM, but either way, they concede the match. Hopping into the next match, leading BRELOOM into Alolan Marowak, immediate save switch into Crustle. My opponent is going to respond with a Unova Stunfisk. Things off to a terrible start in this match. I'm going to fire off as many X-Scissors as they allow me to get to. At this point, I'm not committing a shield to the Crustle. I'm just going to try and get the Stunfisk as low as possible here. And I'm able to reach a second X-Scissor. This will not come close to KOing, but it will get them below half health. At this point, they can pretty safely go for a Discharge, and that should be able to knock me out here. But they go for the Mud Bomb because they want the farm down. Crustle able to reach the X-Scissor. Oh my goodness. Hopefully we can force a shield here. X-Scissor goes unshielded. They survive on very low HP, and they're able to take me out. That is quite unfortunate. I farm down with BRELOOM. Back in comes Marowak. I bring in Magcargo, and in the back they have Dedenne. So my opponent running some spice as well, and things are honestly not looking fabulous for me here. They are going to be able to reach at least 3 discharges, so I decide to let one through, and then I'm just going to try and commit to the farm down, and I think my only win con is probably going to be to try and make a catch onto BRELOOM. In hindsight, I definitely should have shielded the first discharge that they threw, because once I landed that Rock Tomb debuff, the future discharges would have been doing less damage. At this point, I have to try and make a catch. In comes Marowak. I switch into BRELOOM, but they're able to hold on to their energy. And at this point, this game is just over. Seed Bomb does not do enough damage. They're able to reach the back-to-back moves. Shadow Bone number 1 is going to be taking care of BRELOOM, and Shadow Bone number 2 will be taking care of the Magcargo. Tough lead and tough swap, and unfortunately, we're not able to get the win. Hopping into the final match, leading BRELOOM into Crustle. This is definitely where I want to see Crustle on this team, and they're staying in, which is even better. They farm up, safe switch into Tropius, I respond with Magcargo, but I took 1 Air Slash of damage onto BRELOOM, and even just that single Air Slash does an incredible amount of damage. Tropius, able to reach a second Leaf Blade. This is not going to be enough to KO, but it will get my Magcargo very low. Magcargo, able to hang on. I'm not going to be able to farm down, so I'm going to fire off the last second Rock Tomb. This will easily take out the Tropius and leave minimal farm for the Crustle. Back in comes Crustle, able to farm down, but I have loaded energy on my BRELOOM. I'm going straight for the Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb gets the shield from Crustle. Crustle farms up, and they're going to be firing off an X-Scissor. I will commit the shield, because I should be able to reach another Seed Bomb. In the back, they have Pidgeot, and I'm able to meet it with Crustle. At this point, their only win con is to full send the Brave Bird, so I am going to immediately shield. We shield the Brave Bird, farm down the Pidgeot, and that is a good game. All in all, I had a ton of fun running BRELOOM in the Summer Cup. BRELOOM is definitely more of a pick for fun than a pick for climbing, but overall it does have an interesting niche in the meta, especially considering the prevalence of counter users, as well as quite a few XL Pachirisus as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible, so thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.